Hi, this is Joanna, and in this video, I want to talk about working with the Grief Recovery Handbook. It's right here. On my other channel, I've talked about using the Grief Recovery Handbook and how it's good, how I want to use it with clients and with other people. And, I initially picked it up because I wanted to use it to help other people, and I realized that I really needed it for myself. And so, there's lots of areas in my life where I still have unresolved feelings, where there has been loss, where there have been, difficult circumstances that limits my life essentially. It limits my joy in life. It limits my energy, my freedom, my all of my things. And this book pointed that out to me actually. And I went, "Oh, yes, yes. This is true. There's so many areas that you can have loss around, not just the death of a loved one. The loss of a job, the loss of health, the loss of the relationship that you always wanted, perhaps." And so I have a lot of that, it turns out, in that I've experienced so far in my life. And so I started working through this book, the steps, very clear steps in the book. And I really like that and appreciate that about it. And so I started working through them. I created my personal loss history graph and, realized what things still were unresolved and what was limiting me in my life, and have been working through basically all those relationships one by one by one. I've mostly been doing it on my own because I don't have a partner to work with, and I've been then reading this kind of final letter that you write to my counselor when I go and see her. So at least one person a month or one situation a month I am working through, if not more than that. And there are even relationships that I thought I was pretty good with. I thought I was pretty done with grieving my mum's passing. I don't think it'll be 7 years ago this June. And but working through the steps, working through it, saying what I needed to say, so delivering that undelivered communication in the way that I could do it, helped me. It freed stuff up within me. It released things. It made more space within me. And that is a really wonderful thing to experience. If you've ever felt all kind of like knotted up or tense inside, or like you're protecting yourself or always on alert, to have some space, to have some breathing room, oh, it's a huge gift. And so I have been bravely, I have a list I've made. I'm a list maker. I have a list, I don't know if you can see it, of all the people and things that I need to, I think, go through one by one and address and look at and say, okay, these are the things I need to own up to in this relationship. And most of these actually are with people who are still alive. There are some people who have passed into spirit on that. And then situations in my life that have happened. But, I need to own up to what it is that I was responsible for in that relationship. I need to forgive them for what I need to forgive them for. I need to express whatever significant emotional statements have not been expressed. And then I let it go and say goodbye to it and be done with it, really, and let that, whatever processing then still needs to happen, kind of let that happen. But for the most part, really just let it go. And so that's what I'm doing. I actually love this process so much that I signed up to become a certified grief recovery specialist, and I'm heading out tomorrow actually for a training on that. So I will leave that with you. I'm excited, a little trepidatious, but mostly excited to see what happens next. I have no idea how I'm going to use this training really in my life. I'd love to figure out how to help other people with this process as well, and I'm hopeful this training will help me do that. So stay tuned for what's coming next. I'm not completely sure what it is myself, but I'll let you know as soon as I do.